years that Machine have been running motorcycle adventure tours, we've seen some amazing places. The concept for our Great Divide ride began as far back as 2013. I started thinking about all of the amazing tracks I've ridden along the east coast of Australia and realised the one common link was the Great Dividing Range. Australia's Great Divide is the world's longest mountain range in a single country. Stretching out over more than 3,500 kilometres, this almighty mountain range is a watershed running the length of Australia's east coast, from Mount Zero in the Grampians all the way up to the tip of Cape York in far north Queensland. The challenge was how to do this great overland expedition, covering some 6,000 kilometres as a Machine group ride, like we're accustomed to doing. We formulated a plan to split the ride up into 3 stages that would be run consecutively over a couple of years. This would make it more accessible to more riders. The GDR concept was obviously appealing enough for 80 riders to join us in Halls Gap for Stage 1. This is a part of our Machine rides that I enjoy the most. The energy and excitement is awesome when a bunch of our regular riders meet up again. The storytelling begins immediately and notes are compared about how they got to the start of the event.
Welcome everyone once again to the Great Divide Ride Stage 1 for 2021. Australia is a pretty unique country, but riding up the Great Dividing Range, as you probably all know, that's where some of the really sweet riding is. Mount Zero juts up out of the landscape and rises up, and that is literally the start of the Great Dividing Range that runs all the way up to Cape York. You will probably never find a grade 6 track on a Machine ride. If you do, you're welcome to slap me. To put grade 6 in perspective, we're talking Erzberg Rodeo, if you've ever seen that event in Austria, or trials riding stuff. So this scale is designed to suit everything from a Goldwing on the Hume Highway to a trials bike going up stupid vertical slopes. So have fun out there. It's look, this is by far the biggest event that we've undertaken with Machine, so I'm really looking forward to getting it underway tomorrow. So there's lots of support on these events, so just yell out, stick your hand up and we'll find someone to help out. Enjoy, and we'll see you all in the morning.
Our route would cover about 2,200 kilometres by the time we reached the Hunter Valley in 7 days' time.
I'm at the base of the mountain running uphill. Running for the top, coming down on you.
Just in case there was any doubt we were pushing our luck running this event so close to the start of winter, a quick look around the breakfast table inside the cafe that morning told me that perhaps we got the timing wrong for this one. It was fresh.
Who's excited?
Absolutely!
Here at Halls Gap this morning, day 1 of stage 1 of the Great Divide Ride. We're about to undertake our 6,500 kilometre journey. Got a great start to the day and clear weather for the next few days hopefully, so let's hit it.
Let's get a little bit, turn it up. Let's just see how high we can go. Turn it up. No stopping till we lose our control. Turn it up. Until we feel it down in our soul.
The first taste of dirt was sampled not more than 10 kilometres after departing Halls Gap, with a great fun-flowing gravel road to get in the groove and get tail happy on. Rolling into the pretty town of Daylesford prompted pause to seek out a bakery for a second breakfast or an early lunch, depending on riders' progress in the pack. Being a Sunday, the streets were packed, so our already filthy mob made quite a scene in the main street amongst the tourists. Tales were already being told of exploits on the trails, including one particularly deep mud hole that seemed to drench plenty of riders and their bikes.
I went through, water came back together, went over the windscreen into my helmet, down the side of my jacket, bike. I think Dino, you got stuck in the bog hole?
Front wheel got stuck in the mud, and I had to ease it into the puddle and had trouble getting out, basically.
This was followed up by John Drake, whose 1150 GS had already had its face rearranged by a kangaroo, but he was still in the fight. I clearly still had thoughts on that tart that I'd just smashed in Daylesford, because the very first mud puddle caught me out. I took a run in the bush.
Nice one!
What followed in this first enduro section was some sweet twin and single track joining up many varied mud puddles. The technique to get through the mud varied as much as the mix of bikes that tackled them. Some proceeded with caution, others with hopeful fistfuls. Tom, on his DRZ 400, was a particular delight to watch, with no Fs given. Later on, Jordan went off half-cocked and dropped his bike at a photo stop, thinking his stand was down. Of course, all the boys couldn't pull out their phones quick enough to catch him in the act.
Hey, thought that was down.
Put the stand down first.
I thought it was down. It was half-cocked.
This region is dotted with classic country reminders of earlier days, mostly from the gold rush era of the 1850s. The Goldfields region of Victoria sits near the beginning of the Great Dividing Range and has so many treasures to unearth. Old mate in a Land Rover pulled up and told us they had a Enduro race through here the day before. He was on for a chat, but we were on for some skids and wheelies. What followed for the next half hour was a great display of tight formation, low-level flying. Such a hoot.
That was freaking awesome. Yeah, really good.
Really nice, just flowing, and yeah, the trails were just spot on. So good work, Nico.
Typical us, you know, always the latest ones to turn up, but we did the big boggy section today, so we had a lot of fun.
It was satisfying to reflect on a magic day one. While most riders arrived in before dark, there was plenty of activity in the car park as bikes were already being fettled and worked on to prepare for the next day. One particularly recalcitrant Portuguese bike was causing Pete some problems after dying earlier in the day. Despite many attempts, the fault was unfixable in the car park. So roadside assistance was called upon to come and pick the bike up in the morning and take the rider to the airport, where he would fly home and collect his most trustworthy Africa twin to continue on with the ride. Picturesque Cleveland Winery was our chosen stop for night one, and it really set the mood for the evening. Rustic historic buildings were tinted with just enough modern amenities to make for a great place to recharge the batteries. The meal streamed out and helped to get us back on an equilibrium, ready for the next day. More than one tale was told around the table that night about the day's riding exploits.
I had fun today. That was good. So today was relatively easy, a little bit cruisy, and it's going to ramp up from here for the rest of the week. Righto, so the route there tomorrow, as I mentioned, most of you should be pretty comfortable with doing that bonus Enduro section. Take it easy in there initially to get your eye in and get a feel for the terrain underneath your tyres. Got the little Wonder Hill climb in there. This is an Enduro section. I think I've called a grade 5 on the route sheets, that I will say single cylinder bikes only, and don't go in there without multiple bikes. You're going to need a friend here probably. So if you do take the adventure route, you won't be disappointed because we've got a really awesome bitumen road there. Give you a chance to chill out, relax a little bit. Everyone, enjoy the evening.